lower classes, social slime, they don't matter, genocide. Sick from water, sick from air, making money, they don't care. Caesar shit, force of air, fuck them back, it's only for they bomb. They shoot, they kill, they massacre, rape, they burn the kids. No one makes countries laugh to your face, fight and die, 'cause God forgives. Selling lies and buying time, killing people next in line. Lower classes, social slide, they don't matter, genocide. Sick from water, sick from air, making money, they don't care. See their shit, force a bear, fuck them back, that's only fair. They bomb, they shoot, they kill, they massacre, rape, they burn the kids. No one makes countries lie to your face, fight and die, 'cause God forgives. Yeah. Coming back around again.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ron Stevens. This is Game On right here on UCY.TV, and I don't care what anybody else says. I do consider it the best little network on the internet. And if people want to disagree with it, tough. Anyways, it's Canada Meets America week, eh? So we got Obama welcomes Trudeau to the White House. And we all got to be on both sides of the border. Got to be really impressed by that move because it's really a meeting of the minds. Or, well, not really a meeting of the minds, a meeting of the no minds, I think would be a better way to put it. And what we have here is we have a couple of leaders of a couple of countries who have turned on their nations and the peoples of those nations, completely turned on them. We have both of them are sucking up to Islam like there's no tomorrow. Both of them have not a good word to say about a Christian, which are those who founded these nations. The nations were founded on Christian values, although those were pretty warped because the Christian values they were founded on are basically controlled by the same people who are now pushing Islam down our throat. Big difference between a real Christian and the state church Christian. Huge difference. But regardless, we have two leaders here who love everything but straight white Christians. They love everything else. They love transgenderism. They love the gay, lesbian situation. They love Islam. They're everything our nations weren't supposed to be. And they're leading our nations. How the hell did that happen? Well, because we ain't been paying attention. In fact, we haven't been paying attention for so long, I don't know that people even remember what these nations were supposed to be. Most people. You know, you figure out, like, I'm 61 now, and, I can remember a lot of what I was taught in school, and nothing worthwhile, absolutely nothing worthwhile. They didn't train me up as good as they would have liked to. or I wouldn't be doing these shows right now. But for the most part, they trained up most of them pretty good. And you got a new run of kids coming through every 15 years, right, from start to finish. So when we look back what we were taught in school, we kind of think it was the same thing as they're being taught now. No, everything is progressive. It progresses from one stage to the next stage, the next stage, the next stage, and pretty soon you're a transgendered, gay, lesbian, Islamic nutcase that has no clue what your nation was founded on or what it was supposed to be. And that brings us to now, 2016. Anyways, the headline on this one is Obama welcomes Trudeau to the White House. About time, it says. During a long day of meetings and ceremonies, Obama says he will address Parliament during an upcoming visit to Canada that will coincide with the North American Summit meeting later this year. Wonderful. So little Trudeau goes down and little Obama comes up. Washington. This is from the Washington Bureau. U.S. President Barack Obama welcomed Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to the White House on Thursday with a pomp-filled ceremony and a bit of Canadian ease. About time, Obama said, noting that Trudeau was the first Canadian Prime Minister to be invited for a state visit in 19 years. Obama later said at a joint news conference after an Oval Office meeting that he will address Parliament during an upcoming visit to Canada. The visit will be part of the so-called Three Amigos Summit meeting to take place in June between Trudeau, Obama, and Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto. So we're back to the North American Union again. Yeah, and that's just fantastic news, I do believe. We need to bring all of these nations together. But anyways, on the White House lawns, Obama emphasized the similarities between both two countries, himself and Trudeau. The Prime Minister, he said, has brought a new energy to Canada and to the bilateral relationship. We have a common outlook on the world, Obama said, and that is absolutely correct. It is not the outlook of most, if not a supreme high percentage of the people in both nations, but Obama and Trudeau have a common outlook on the world. And it ain't going to get prettier. The two leaders traded hockey jokes. Obama taunted Canadians about the Stanley Cup. Where's the Stanley Cup now? I'm sorry, isn't it in my hometown with the Chicago Blackhawks? At that point, someone in the public gallery called out Raptors. Trudeau pointed out that several of the team stars are Canadian. Obama also called the Canadian delegation quite good-looking. And he said Canadians and Americans, something just popped up on my screen and blocked what I was reading. Where was I here? And he said Canadians and Americans do not express their mutual affection frequently enough. Partly said because Canadians are reserved. They kind of sneak up on you, he said. Well, we may just have to sneak up on both of you clowns one of these days in order to get our nations back. Obama said that Canadians and Americans share deep-rooted values, including a commitment to defend peace, security, and human rights. Now, that is a statement that says both of Obama. Obama said Canadians and Americans share deep-rooted values, including a commitment to defend peace, security, and human rights. Well, I don't believe that's true. Now, Obama and Trudeau have a deep-rooted value, including commitment to defend peace, security, and human rights, because what they're chasing is the United Nations, okay? They're United Nations puppets, globalist puppets. And that's where you get your peace, security, and human rights from. Our diversity is our strength, Obama said. The ceremony on a sunny and hot March day included a U.S. military honor guard, herald, trumpeters, and a 19-gun salute. As is customary, the Trudeaus came to the White House bearing gifts. Trudeau gave Obama a sculpture by woodland Cree artist Leo Arcan of Alberta. Sophie Gregory, Trudeau's wife, or First Lady, gave First Lady Michelle Obama a razor. No, that's not right. Michelle might not have shaved today. A beaded cape made by Iroquois designed Tammy Bevo of Quebec. The couple gave the Obama's daughters maverick scarves from Ottawa designer Krista Norris. There were even presents for the Obama's dogs, Sonny and Bo. Toronto made Mutlux all-weather dog boots. Canada also gifted 150 maple trees to the people of the United States. So I don't know, 150 maple trees put through a toothpick factory, I don't know. We might get enough to have one toothpick per American out of that trees. 150 maple trees, yeah, you could probably pull it off. So you get 315 toothpicks, or 315 million toothpicks out of 150 maple trees. So way to go, Trudeau. Hundreds of people who work for the U.S. government or have connections to the White House stood on the lawn carrying little flags. Little flags, isn't that wonderful? We were always going to represent with something with a maple leaf on it, Sam said, standing with his wife, Liz Siddle of B.C. Others squealed and gasped, "Oh my God," as Obama and Trudeau French kissed each other on the lawn. Nope, wrong sentence. As Obama and Trudeau approached them to shake hands and say hello, "I've never seen so American..." Oh my goodness. "I've never seen so many Americans so excited about the visit of a Canadian Prime Minister," Obama said. Trudeau said the two countries remain united in a common purpose, allies, partners, and friends as we tackle the world's great challenges. There's no relationship in the entire world like the Canada-U.S. relationship, Trudeau said. He concluded, "Now let's get to work shaping our shared future." This is coming from a guy who was a snowboarder, worked for a whitewater rafting company, and generally just kind of hung out. But not now. He's the Prime Minister. And it's time to get to work on our shared future. And when he says our shared future, he's talking about the administrations of the two countries, not the people of the nations. The ceremony began the busiest day of Trudeau's 3-day Washington visit. The two leaders went from the lawn to the Oval Office, where they held a brief photo opportunity before a private meeting. They emerged around 11:40 for a joint press conference in the Rose Garden. They announced a new border agreement in which screening processes are being adjusted to reduce bottlenecks and streamline regulations. According to Obama, the process would make borders more open and more safe, Trudeau said. So expect some eye scanners, facial recognition shit up at the borders. Obama also said the two nations agreed to share more information on no-fly lists. Privacy would still be upheld, he said, but our two nations are more closely aligned than ever. When asked about the possibility of Donald Trump becoming a U.S. president, Trudeau was diplomatic. "I have tremendous confidence in the American people and look forward to working with whomever they choose to send to the White House." Trudeau went from there to a luncheon hosted by Secretary of State John "I'm a frickin' treasonous dog" Kerry. The day will conclude with a lavish state dinner in the White House's East Room. Kerry reiterated Obama's sentiments that the relationship between the two countries is uniquely strong. "There's nothing fake about it. There's nothing contrived. It's not just words. It's real," said Kerry. There ain't nothing real about the administration of these two nations. They don't administrate for the nation. Okay, they're corporate, globalist, UN, Vatican, DC, London City, treasonous, dogs to all the people in their nations. And that's real. And I said that. Trudeau expresses excitement to roll up our sleeves and get some real work done. Trudeau has never really worked in his entire life. He's been out snowboarding and playing in the whitewater raft. But now it's time to roll up the sleeves and get some work done. Kerry was effusive in his praises for the Canadian Prime Minister. And here's a picture of the Prime Minister getting off a plane. Isn't that wonderful? He has a favorability rating that is equal to that of Wayne Gretzky and Rachel McAdams and well ahead of Justin Bieber, Kerry said. Now, see, Kerry's up on all this stuff, right? Kerry's, he would know this stuff. So this is a good news that our Prime Minister has a favorability rating that is equal to that of Wayne Gretzky, a hockey player, Rachel McAdams, I take it that's an actress because I have no clue who she is, and well ahead of Justin Bieber, a little singer. So this is who we equate our leaders with, okay? Pop stars and hockey stars, and that's really pathetic. It's very, very clear he has a lot of fans here in the United States. Later, while hosting a luncheon, Kerry reiterated Obama's sentiments that the relationship between the two countries is uniquely strong. There's nothing fake about it. There's nothing, let's see, I've already been there. They're double printing this stuff. The leaders made the first substantive announcement of the trip by a press release Thursday morning. Canada and the U.S. have committed to cutting methane emissions from their oil and gas industries by 40 to 45% by 2025. Now, I don't know how we got from carbon emissions to methane emissions. Maybe they're the same. I don't know, but we're getting a carbon tax, not a methane tax, so we'll have to see what happens there. The premiers of Alberta and British Columbia have already made the same commitments. The federal government will issue an initial phase of proposed new national regulations by early next year, according to the leaders' joint Thursday statement. Shortly after Trudeau arrived Wednesday at St. Andrew, at Andrews Air Force Base with his family in tow, he attended a welcome reception where he briefly addressed the crowd. The White House state dinner is the first for a Canadian leader in 19 years. Trudeau will dine in the mansion's East Room, where his father was serenaded by Robert Goulet at an after-party for his own first state dinner here in 1969. The three-day trip ends Friday with a wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Ceremony, a speech and a town hall-type forum with university students. On Wednesday night, the Prime Minister used a late evening talk to lament the danger of isolation in the country gripped by heated election debates over banning Muslim travelers, refusing Syrian refugees, expelling Mexican migrants, and canceling trade deals blamed on sending jobs abroad. So he's lamenting the danger of isolation. If we ban Islam and quit bringing all the refugees in, and we send the Mexicans back to their own country, and if we cancel trade deals blamed on sending our jobs abroad. These are the kind of lunatics that are in power, and we really need to get on these clowns, or suffer the consequences. And I don't really feel like suffering the consequences. So let's see who came to dinner. Washing gears up for glamour as Justin Trudeau attends a state dinner. So who Canadian politicos, DC heavyweights, and Hollywood celebrities rubbed shoulders at Thursday night state dinner hosting Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Now, people got to get the idea that all these celebrities and sports stars are nothing but a distraction. I got somebody calling in here, so why not, eh? Let's see who we got on the line. So Yes. Have I got a caller?
Hello,
Yes.
Ron.
Yes. How are
This
you?
is Alex.
Alex.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for calling in. Did you write
You're
some of
welcome.
this stuff?
Pardon me?
This stuff that I'm reading here about Trudeau going to Washington. Did you write some of
I
this?
saw that
know.
today. Obama's talking about how attractive he is.
Yeah, that kind of makes me nervous. Well, no, I got a picture. I got a picture of Obama with smiling with his hand up in the air, and Trudeau with his arm around both Obama and Michelle. And when I'm looking at Justin Trudeau and Michelle, I'm thinking maybe Trudeau is more attractive than Michelle. That's why Obama looks so freaking happy. But the reason I asked is that you took journalism, right?
Yeah.
You write this stuff?
What do you mean?
Did you write all this? You couldn't write this, could you?
Not ethically, no.
No. No.
No.
At all.
No. That's why I don't work in that industry, Ron.
Yeah, I know. We've discussed that before, and that's
Try to do it independently. Yeah.
yeah, and I do remember getting a call years ago from an independent investigative journalist out of Britain, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, and I said, "Well, how's that working out for you?" It's going not so good. People don't like the powers that be don't want it, right?
Not much of a market for the truth today.
No, and that's unfortunate. So,
Yeah.
So what's new?
Well, I'm going over these lectures that Bezmenov gave
Okay.
about Soviet subversion.
Uh-huh.
Kind of wanted to talk about that if you're not averse to it.
No, actually, I don't. I post those videos not too often, but I repost them every now and again because I do believe they're very, very important. There's only there's really a core of things that I find to be extremely important. Most of the rest of it's just noise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I wanted to relate this back to two issues we're having in this country right now. I guess they both kind of fall into the same category of like social justice. One is hate speech laws. The other is radical feminism. And I've seen how these relate to these subversion tactics. It's uncanny when you really look at it. But I want to I'll start with a quote. This is from one of these things that Bezmenov did. It says, "The highest art of warfare is not to fight at all, but to subvert anything of value in the country of your enemy, until such time that the perception of reality of your enemy is screwed up to such an extent that he does not perceive you as an enemy, and that your system, your civilization, and your ambitions look to your enemy as an alternative, if not desirable, then at least visible. Better read than dead." He said, once the final stages of subversion are complete, you can take your enemy without a single shot being fired. Now, before I continue, I want to make it clear that I care about liberty, not people's feelings. So if people are offended by any of this, that's too damn bad. Deal with it. I've heard Ron say many times, say what you mean and mean what you say. If you're offended, walk away.
Exactly.
Right? Like what happened to people just debating, working things out civilly by themselves, without bringing the cops into it, or trying to just ram these values down other people's throats? Like what?
Well, one of the purposes of that, okay, is that the idea is if you start speaking truth to these people, and I don't care what faction it is, like Brezhnev said, it's been so fractured now. You've got a group here and a group there and a group here, right?
They're all co-opted.
So, yeah, and so if you say something that offends this group or that group or this group, they have little code words to try to throw at you, right? You're racist, right? You're an NIMBY, you're this, you're that, yeah. You know, and one of the reasons they're taught to do that is so you can't get at them. Okay, they throw that smoke screen up at you. So
that's right.
And that is to stop from. That is to deny you the right to basically deprogram these people.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
It's true, because if you can get them into, like you said, a quiet, intelligent debate, conversation, or whatever, you can snap them open. And I've done it. And it's freaky when it happens, because the eyes just light up. It's really weird. And then they're awake. And then they're thrown out of the group that they were protecting. Because
well, I mean,
danger.
But I mean, not only that, but these, I mean, you know, a lot of these people, they're not that deluded. They know that there's ulterior motives behind what they're doing, and if they had to actually sit down and debate this, it would be a failure. They'd lose.
Well,
they'd have nothing to debate it with.
Well, see, I thought I had David Suzuki on once, and he backed out, and Elizabeth.
No
May,
way.
And Elizabeth May was adamant she'd debate anybody, and I was sure I had her, and then she ran away. No, I mean, it's someone that knows it can wipe the floor with them in 3 minutes flat.
Yeah.
And they're not going there. They're not going there. So I've tried, man. I've tried hard to get these people.
Yeah, she'll debate anyone who's with the program.
Right.
Anyone, anyone who wants to debate the noise with her.
Yeah, and that's the problem. They just, they all puffed up. Yeah, I'll debate anybody, anywhere, anytime. Like Steve Pagan, you know,
oh God, TVO,
the Israeli Jewish contingent show. I had him on Twitter one time. We were having at it, and I said, why don't you just have me on the show? That'd be good. Or you come on my show, it'd be great. And so finally, I said to him, Steve, I think you are more what is the word I used anyways? You're more inclined to the untruth than the truth, yes? And he wrote me back, yeah, I am more inclined to the untruth than the truth. So he was honest, at least. Because it's just that show is just pure manipulation, as is everything.
Yeah, well, what's more pathetic, right? The person who knows what they're doing and the person who doesn't.
Well, it's sad either way. But when you have someone just straight out admit that that the untruth is their game, it's pretty pathetic. Especially when people watch these things and think they're getting actual information. It's just. And they actually discussed, the whole free speech thing as related to radical feminism and hate speech laws. I actually watched that the other day. Steve Pagan had some people on talking about that. It was very funny, actually. Well, it's amazing what you see once you see it, right? Russell, I don't know if you know the comedian Russell Peters or not, right?
I know of him.
Okay,
I'm from Brampton, right?
What?
He's from Brampton.
From where?
He's from Brampton.
Really?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. But when I first saw him, I thought he was rather funny. And it was the old, he got good delivery and everything, and his stuff was okay. But I noticed that, he was demeaning white people. He had a white friend, right? In one of his deals he was doing. And then when I saw him on stage one time saying that, we're going to take all your daughters and that, and when we're done, this place is going to be beige, right?
I remember that joke.
Yeah, and I thought, that's not funny, buddy, right? That's not funny. And But that's the plan, anyways, to beige it out. The idea is to get rid of the whites, and so I say, you see this all the time, like a little mosque on the prairie. What the hell is that all about? I mean, that's just get people used to the idea. I mean, it's ludicrous, even the thought process. Little mosque on the prairie. This is a CBC show. It's all propaganda. But anyways, back to Yuri there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first off, the hate speech laws, right? Thought crime. This has got to be the most absurd, ridiculous thing ever. And it is absurd, but I think it goes much deeper than just that. There is method behind the madness, though I think many of if not most of the people involved, probably have no clue as to what they're actually doing and to what end. But, it's not about people's feelings, okay? It's not about tolerance and inclusion like they claim. It is about infantilization, dependency on the state. If you look into what's going on in the universities right now, especially in Canada, like they've lost their fucking minds. Have you ever heard of a safe space, Ron?
A what?
A safe space?
Not particularly.
You ever heard of a trigger warning?
No.
Okay, well, these are terms that have been created in interdisciplinary studies courses, gender studies, racial studies courses. And basically what it is, they keep demanding safe spaces on the universities. And what it is that if anybody comes to the university to speak, against their beliefs, something that's going to trigger them, right, the trigger warning, they want to be able to run back to their safe space. And literally, Ron, there's they'll have therapy dogs in there and coloring books and Play-Doh, and they literally go in there and infantilize themselves and shield themselves from any debate or any differing views. And this is totally sanctioned, to the point where even when they have their safe spaces and all this, they will demand that people be banned from speaking at universities, and it's happened many times.
You're not talking about grade kindergarten to grade 3 or 4. You're talking about universities?
I'm talking about post-secondary.
Yeah, about universities and colleges.
Yes, yeah.
They have safe spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So if they feel threatened, triggered, this is like that MK Ultra crap or something, man. This is nuts.
I'm surprised you haven't heard about that, but it's disturbing. It's disturbing, Ron.
Well, I know when I went to the high school and I was waiting for that politician to show up, another teacher wanted me to film and question the politician, and while I was sitting around, I just simply asked if they still do night courses, and they said yes, so I went to see the night course lady and just see what it was about, what I needed to do, and she kept pestering me what I would teach, and I just simply, said, I don't know, I guess I'll teach a course on Canadian history, and I mean, it was freaky. I mean, she did come across the desk, her eyeballs were popped right out of her head, and her fingers up my nose, and she, it's like Borg, you don't want anything radical here. And I go, well, Jesus, yes, I guess real Canadian history would be quite radical from where you're sitting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It is freaky, it's loopy.
They're part of this. A lot of them, they're part of this revolutionary communist student group, or whatever it's called. These, it's hilarious, Ron. These rich kids at the universities, they know so little about politics and history. They're talking about smashing the bourgeoisie, workers of the world unite, how communism is going to set us free from the evils of capitalism.
I know.
Look, I'm not saying capitalism's perfect, very far from it, but these people, they don't seem to be able to pick up a book and realize that this, communism, utopianism, Marxism, whatever you want to call it, it's been an abject failure and a harbinger of human suffering everywhere it's been tried, far from a utopia. Right?
Yes,
This is
I
how
know.
delusional and ignorant these kids are.
Well, yeah, they don't seem to be capable to gather information anymore. Like this is all this play that they have, like this is your safe space. God, man, I can't believe this stuff. This is your
Yeah.
safe space and that, there, we instead of paying high tuitions, you'll get free tuitions because everybody has a right to adequate education, yada yada yada, straight out of the United Nations, we're going, through this new change out from capitalism. Instead of fighting like dogs and the few rich people have everything, everybody will have a guaranteed income. And
Oh God, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they're selling the snot out of this now. So I read something today that the central bank or something has given Ottawa or Trudeau carte blanche to start spending, right? And
Oh yeah.
yeah, so they're going to start firing money out to these people so that they.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all of your basic needs are covered. Well, an intelligent person would stop and say, well, how's that going to happen? What's backing this stuff?
Well, exactly. What's the motivation? How are we going to afford this? And why would I want to be dependent on you?
Right. But if you have safe spaces in universities and colleges where they run to with their coloring books and that, then yeah, I can see where they'd grasp at this sort of thing. I was talking to a guy at the store the other day, and I said this when I was at the high school, and I was talking to 17-year-olds, and I said, like, chronologically they're 17, mentally 10, 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a guy in the store, and I didn't bring it up. He did, right? The students are mind messed, right? Like there's nobody home. And he thought they were about 10, 12 years old as well. And that's what they've done, because only a 10 or 12-year-old, even then I don't think I would do that, but say 10 or 12-year-old might run to their safe room with their coloring book.
Yeah, exactly.
But not a university student.
You think not, right?
Hope not.
It's the professors, these communist professors, however connected they are, who knows, right? But these communist professors have got their dirty little hands right in there. Like they are encouraging this shit.
Well, yeah.
There was an incident. It was at KSU in the United States. A man named Sage Girard wanted to create a men's, and he did create a men's issues group at the school. It's actually, I believe, like one of the first that's actually sanctioned at these universities in the States now, since this hysteria has started. But essentially, when he's tried to do this, a number of professors started trying to have him blackballed, started trying to have the group shut down, and he went to one of the professors, he went to their office, during the day, normal hours, went to their office to speak with them, this woman, about, saying, hey, why are you trying to shut down my group? And this woman called the police and said that she was afraid for her life and the life of her family, and that this man has violent fantasies about murdering women. She'd never met the guy before. And there was a trove of other professors that jumped on the bandwagon with her, and it's basically institutionalized, this sort of thing. Like, this guy had to fight to get this damn group.
Well, I mean, even when if I talk to a government agency, which I do often, and I'll get, it seems to be the younger ones that are working in the government, but if I'm asking some serious questions or that, I will constantly get, I'm not feeling comfortable now. I'm feeling kind of threatened.
Yeah,
right? And you go, I'm asking you a question, you twit. Right? Like, I mean, is it really that bad?
Yeah.
Any excuse to feel threatened or, I guess, triggered or whatever you call it. Next time I phone and one of them does that, I'm saying, listen, I got an idea. Why don't you go get me your supervisor, and why don't you grab your coloring book and run off to your safe room? Okay? Or your safe space or whatever you call it. And, grab a soother on the way in and then just sit there and suck your thumb and play into the coloring book. This is how bad it is. And
They're basically trying to say that free speech should end where people's feelings begin.
Well, they did that a long time ago, right? I mean, it's getting much worse now. I mean,
Exactly.
I grew up when that stuff was coming in,
Yeah.
and people would say to me, like, you can't say that; it's not politically correct. I go, what the hell are you talking about? Politically correct? What do I give a damn about politically correct? Well, you might get in trouble for what? Speaking my mind.
Yeah.
That doesn't. I can't compute that nonsense.
I know. That they're so heavily programmed, they cannot even see the absurdity of what they're saying or doing at all. I mean, these people, they're calling themselves radicals. Okay, they're saying they're fighting the capitalist establishment, calling themselves Antifas, anti-fascists, going around calling people fascists. But I mean, they are the ones shoving the establishment ideology down everyone's throat. They are the establishment.
Exactly.
They're too deluded to get that.
I know, I understand that. Yeah. I mean,
Antifas. I just laugh every time I hear them say that.
Like Occupy, funded by Brzezinski and the boys, right?
Oh yeah.
And wait a minute. You're fighting against the guys that funded your movement. Does that work for you guys? You're radicals. You're revolutionaries. Give it up.
Oh man.
Really
I mean, how best to control the opposition, right?
Yeah.
Buy it. Take it over.
Well, that's the communist thing. Yeah, that's what I said about the internet with all these internet radio shows. I mean, the vast majority of them, especially the early ones that came out of the gates quick, gather up those who are thinking, right?
Yeah.
And bring them into the fold and tell them what they want to hear. And you'll hang on to them, and they won't be a problem, right? Because we're going to feed them enough truth to hold them, and enough other untruth to keep them in our fold, so we own them.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, but that's what happens. It was funny. I did a talk somewhere one time, and a buddy of mine was working. His brother lives down in Toronto, and he when he came up, he says, "I heard you on the radio." I said, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, no, I didn't do any radio shows anymore." I said, "Where'd you hear that?" He's in Toronto on the radio. Why the hell would I be on the radio in Toronto? And it turns out they were playing a thing. Daniel Libby, who was at the Ryerson radio station before they shut it down, had come up and filmed some talks that people were giving. And I guess they were playing them on the radio station, but they got shut down almost right quick after that.
What did he actually play? Was it something of you?
Pardon me?
He played something that you had, a speech that you had given, or?
Yeah. And I mean, they had a couple of people in there. Daniel's kind of like an independent filmmaker, and he's learning too. He used to run around and follow Press for Truth and stuff, right, until he got it. So he's wised up a whole lot too. But there was a faction at the radio station which were trying to bring out exactly kind of like what we're talking about tonight. And then you had the other people from the radio station, your radical Marxists or whatever, who couldn't put up with it, right? And CRTC finally came in and shut the whole damn thing down.
Oh yeah, that's
surprising. Something, right? So it's very difficult to get the information out there. But there's another. It's a long bitch of a thing to sit through, but I keep telling people to go watch it. Speed watch it. Because you can roll through stuff pretty quick if you know how it's laid out. And get rid of the filler. But 1987 was that made for TV series came out, or made for TV movie. I think it was 13 parts or something, and it was called America with a K. And it came out in 1987, the very same year that they unleashed Our Common Future, the Groh-Brundtland report. And it's exactly what we see today.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's It's all about, it's not about your government. They build all of these boards and committees and stuff that aren't elected, right? To
Yeah,
put the
yeah.
agenda in place. And it shows, when, what the hell's that guy's name, Marty, the singer that played in that movie?
I wouldn't know.
Chris Christopherson was one of the stars in the show.
Okay.
And he had run. He had been. It's the old story. It was a falling out between him and his old man. His old man was a conservative, and Christopher was fighting against the Vietnam War and that. So he got that friction, and then he ran as an independent, and ended up in a re-education camp as this movement came forward, right? Which is basically what we're talking about now is on freedom of speech, right?
Mm-hmm.
And end up in a re-education camp. And when they're getting out, they have to take a pledge of allegiance to the flag. And you had the American flag on the one side and the Russian flag on the other side, and bang in the middle, joining together was the United Nations flag.
That's right. That's
And,
right.
and that's what we're at. Right, you look at the foundations with the Reese report, Reese Commission, and they talking with the Ford Foundation guys, and the Reese Commission was there to find out what the non or the exempt tax exempt foundations were up to.
Oh, is that Norman Dodd you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was very blatant. What we're doing is we're Sovietizing the West, right, or America. Which is the West, and then you see this movie in 1987. You see the one brother in the movies in high school. So the Chris Christopherson is trying to get back to the kids, but they got kind of underground railway going to get these guys through, and he gets to the school, and his son in high school, it's 80s, right? So you got the 80s haircut and Gene Jackson, all that kind of crap, very dated looking stuff, but. The kid's still, going to grow up and be a man, right?
Yeah.
So he says, he wanted to go see his younger son who's in grade school. So he got over there, and his youngest son looks basically like a girl. Got him so feminized, right?
Yeah.
And he ends up not going to his father, but going to the administration of the school and pointing his father out as the bad guy, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what we got going on now, and it's bloody unfortunate. Do you want to add somebody in here for a discussion or what? I don't know.
Do I have someone to add in here?
Well, somebody's trying to get in here for a call. Should we add him or?
I'm all for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, let's do it.
I don't want to interrupt what you're doing.
Well, there's a lot to go through here. I could do this a number of times.
Have we got another caller?
Yes, we do.
Who is this, Marco?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Meet Alex, Mark.
Hello,
Hi,
Marco.
Alex.
And Mark.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, and Alex.
I have to say, Alex, you sound like a very intelligent individual. You know what the hell's going on exactly, and there's not enough of us around.
And that's the truth.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
I really.
You were just sorry, Ron.
No, go ahead.
You were just talking about the America series,
mm-hmm.
and you said to whip through that. I would recommend people actually don't whip through it and follow it right through all the way through, because there are so many things in there that you would miss by whipping through it that would just spin your socks.
Yeah, I actually think it was so long. I actually went through it I think 3 times, and
Mm-hmm.
tried to pause at different spots each time. And it is a work of here's your future in your face, man. I mean, it is so put together. Everybody should watch that. I mean, it's an amazing piece.
At the beginning of the first episode, they said anything in this movie is just based on fiction. and if otherwise, that phrase where it's a coincidence if anything is in there that is actually in there. Yet the UN is like pasted through the whole thing.
Yeah, and what I really found, odd, not odd. We knew why, but I mean that movie and the Prelude to Agenda 21, Our Common Future, both came out in 1987. That movie was not a fictional mistake. But so how is Sudbury?
Another topic you guys were on earlier was the safe space at the university as well. There's other things going on at the university as well. The Laurentian University here in Sudbury just decided, well, I didn't just decide, they finally brought it through. They're having sexless washrooms now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's to appease anybody who's transgendered.
Yes. Yes.
That is so stupid.
Yeah, it's beyond belief.
You know what? Like I said this last time we got into this on the show. I mean, I'm not prejudiced at all, right? But I do not agree with any group trying to shove their values by force down the throats of everyone else, right? I don't agree with anyone doing this, but like it or not, right? These are the values. These values they're not the morality that Canada was founded upon.
No, and just to say that, okay, again, I'm not a racist, okay, and I don't care what your particular beliefs or needs or anything else are, okay, but you do not impose them upon others, period, right?
I mean, it's obvious demoralization.
If Laurentian High School or University, Laurentian University, I don't know what the total of the student body is. It won't be probably over, 2,500 or something?
I think like 10,000 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, even at 10,000.
University.
Even at 10,000. What do we say the number of transgendered in there is? 20?
6.
I would think. 6? Okay, 6. So.
Did you actually get a figure on that?
No, I just.
Okay. Because I would be really interested to find out, right? Because, and especially today when there is not only transgendered in terms of being a hermaphrodite and the whole genitals thing, right? It goes into you can classify yourself as anything. You can make up a gender.
Right.
Right? It's insanity.
The fact is that the vast majority must bend to the wishes of it's ass backwards is what it is, right?
Yeah.
You will accommodate if there's one of these in your presence, then everyone will accommodate that, and that's just nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not asking anyone to accommodate me. Do you go around telling people they need to accommodate you? No. Like we go around making demands of people?
No, I don't like people that do that. Figure it out yourself. But this is how far we've come, where the absolute smallest minority can raise their head up and force everyone else to abide by what their particular deal is, right? And if you say anything against it, if you say, well, we're going to have, open washrooms for everybody. Well, what you're going to do right away is you're going to probably traumatize an awful lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's...
At least make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the breaking down of the people is to traumatize them.
Oh, yeah.
And that if you speak up, you say, like, what the hell are you doing? The guy comes wandering in the girls' washroom. What the hell are you doing in here? Well, I have the right. And then the girls say, like, get out of here, right? Oh, well, now I feel threatened, says the one that was imposing himself. And now it gives all the hell in a handbasket. Yeah, the trigger, right?
And do you think there'll be any cell phones peering over top of stalls?
Oh, hell no. No, of course not. Everyone's honest.
at that age, at that university age, they're past their sexual peak and stuff, so there's not interest in that at all.
Oh no, of course not. No, not at all.
Yeah.
No danger there whatsoever.
No, there has to be. I mean, I've known Mark for a while, and I really like Mark. And Mark's a movie star, in case you didn't know, Alex. He played,
really?
Yeah, he played Vince.
Yeah, 745 people worldwide have seen me.
Yeah, but see that. But,
Congratulations.
But this is what I'm saying. You guys did that video. You guys did the movie. It's a full length movie up in Sudbury with no budget, just a desire to do it. And I watched the opening scene again. Coming into the parking lot by the warehouse and all that kind of stuff with the crane shot, one crane shot per movie, what you guys accomplished with no budget, no real acting skill. I think there was one semi-professional actor in there. But it was a decision to do that, and you guys pulled it off. Car dealers were loaning houses and cars and this and that and the other thing to get this thing made, and you did it. And my attitude is, this is the kind of attitude we need in order if we're going to turn this mess around. This idea that we don't have this and we don't have that and we're kind of behind the eight ball. What are we going to do? I look at that movie you guys made as an absolute expression of yes, we can. And not the UN, yes, we can, but the people can. We got to quit backing up, and we got to quit making excuses.
Quit bending over.
To wrap things back into another earlier topic that Alex introduced when he first called in was Yuri Bezmenov. Another thing that he said was, you'll know your society is completely taken over when gays and lesbians take over positions of power.
Yeah, he did say that. Like when you get gays and lesbians in running your political system, you are big trouble.
Yeah, like Barack Obama and his wife Michael.
He should. I got to tell you, that picture I see when I was doing that.
I know.
I tell you.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau's pretty.
Yeah, pretty boy, yeah. He's welcome down at the White House anytime. It's nuts. I wish this was 2 hours. It's only one.
I know.
But we got to keep doing this because I'm really enjoying these conversations a lot better than listening to me yap all the time. No
offense, Ron, but I do like to hear other people talk too.
Yeah, me too.
And Alex, like I said, Alex is, you're a great speaker, Alex, and
thank you very much.
And your contributions in just a couple of shows have been quite. I'm quite impressed. Anyways,
I'm glad to hear it.
So we should all go up to Laurentian Heights University and just hit the washrooms, right?
Oh yeah, old guys.
We're feeling like ladies today.
Yeah, just roll in with a busload, man. Say, I gotta go to the bathroom. Look out. I really appreciate both you guys, man. I'm glad that I've met Alex and I've known Mark for a while, and I just feel kind of honored, really. It's important that we keep moving in the right direction, and try to get away from all the noise and try to just get to what we got to get to. So thanks, Alex, and thanks, Mark. Thanks for listening.
You're very welcome, Ron.
Yes, Saturday night we'll be back on Revolution Radio. Sunday we'll be back
Hey, Ron, your voice drowns out about now.
Yeah, I'm out of here. We are out. Take care.
They shoot, they kill,